hello my friends on YouTube, yet another knife review, and this time the CH3504, or since you can get them on Amazon, they are also known as Grow CH3504, and this is the so-called skull knife. And from my first impressions video, quite a few people said, what do you mean by skull? Yeah, well, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Really, if you look at this handle here, you might see about half a skull, the eye here and the teeth and so on. And yeah, I guess it's not a big deal if you can't see it. It's just some odd markings on the blade. But as I said, once you see the sort of the skull, you can't really unsee it again. So yeah. I could do without that feature, but or whatever you call it, but that's okay. It's a very good knife, so I can forgive that. Let's open it. We have a blade at 9 centimeters, 3.54 inches, and sort of a drop point with a large belly, and the knife is razor sharp out of the box. On top, a very big, some very big jimping. I'm not sure that's really functional or it's just for looks. I think it's maybe mainly for looks. Everything is a bit heavy and big on this knife. And speaking of that, the weight is 160 grams, 5.7 ounces. That's a heavy knife. And as I said, blade 9 centimeters and handle 12 centimeters, which would be 4.72 inches. So all in all, around above 8 inches and above 21 centimeters. So this is by no means a small knife, and we can just quickly compare it with the Spyderco Delica and perhaps steel wheel cut jack. It's up there. There's a cut jack actually. Cut jack is by no means a small knife either. And yeah, just for something everyone might have seen, an ordinary lighter. Continuing with the blade, it is S35VN, and not much to tell. A little bit about a swedge here and a flat grind, a very high flat grind, and it is indeed quite a slicer. But it's also a thick blade, above 4 millimeters, and be aware of that. It is not that thin behind the edge, but a heavy slicer, in my opinion. Handle titanium, and as you can see, anodized in some, to me, very beautiful sort of purple or blurple color, and then the milled out half skull here. And as I said, if you can see it, it's okay. If not, it's not a big thing. Lanyard hole on the back, and halfway a back spacer. Milled out pocket clip, also titanium. Reasonably a lot of room beneath the pocket clip, and not that deep carry, but still rather deep carry. And again, this beautiful blurple anodization, and the pivot also very nice. Unfortunately, free spinning. Every screw is Torx 8, so easy to disassemble, and it is indeed. I tried it, and apart from the free spinning pivot, no real issue. Inside the pivot, ceramic ball bearing, also a very nice thing, gives it quite a nice action, and as we speak about that, why not try? This heavy blade almost gives a bit of recoil and strikes my hand back, and as you can see, it's that hydraulic feel that at least I appreciate. not exactly drop shotty, but it falls very much by its own weight, and of course the heavy blade helps a bit on that. Ergonomically, really not a bad knife. Of course I have a size 9, a rather large hand, and still I have room for an extra finger here, so even a bigger hand. I'm more doubtful about how this feels in a smaller hand, so be aware of that if you have smaller hands. And then this amazing action. Fit and finish, no blade play, no up and down blade play, nothing. Centering dead on, and everything nicely rounded off. No real, actually no real hot spots as far as I can tell. The pocket clip is flat and hides nicely inside your hand, and even reverse grip functions very well. Draw cut, not the most recommendable grip, but it feels okay there too. Not the best, but okay. So all in all, I like this knife very much. I am so pleased with it. Especially I am an action freak, I have to admit it. It just flips open so nicely, and that drop shottiness, if I should fault it in any way, if you're more or less using it as a fidget toy, well, the tip of this hollowed out or flipper is a little bit pointy up into your finger. A minor detail, and of course if you don't use this as a fidget spinner, you would say, John, what the fuck are you talking about? But yeah, I like to play with my knives. Still not a big issue. Detent is reasonably loose, so that it doesn't really hurt your finger too much, and because of the wideness of the handle, you don't really get to block the frame lock, which can be a problem on many frame lock knives. I haven't had a sort of a misfire, you know how that looks, and for those of you who have tried it, you know how it feels when you have a misfire. Maybe I can't even make it do it. Yeah, no, I can't. The frame lock is out of the way, but you know, if your finger just does like that, that's really not a good feeling. Not what you get here. And yeah, I told you, it's a big heavy knife. It's not the one you use for your beach pants or your shorts or whatever, but usually sometimes when you have a knife, then people say, oh, I wish this one was in a little larger, or in this case a little smaller. And in this case you are actually in luck, because they have a 3504 mini. This is overall around 2 inches smaller in every respect, and this is a crazy little pocket knife. I love this, and I think I've carried it more than the big one, because it's just a more manageable size. Maybe not as frightening as well, but same basic concept, except this is in Ors 8. And yeah, I forgot to mention price. The big one here, $79 on AliExpress, and around 100 on Amazon. And the little one, $50, titanium handle, Ors 8. Not a bad deal. It is very, very smooth and very, very nice. And then you have the option for the smaller hands as well. I think that's a good choice, and I think I wholeheartedly recommend them both. I'm very pleased with them. I hope you learned something today. Have a nice day, evening, whatever it is in your country. Bye bye.